Hey, let me turn that volume down for you. By now you can probably tell I'm driving in an Audi. Specifically, this is a 2014 A4, and the model is a 2.0T Quattro Tiptronic, and there is just something about this car that makes me smile and for some reason want to crank up the classical music. Like other vehicles graced with the 4-ring logo, this car is luxurious without being pretentious. It's also feature-laden, but not overbearing. Still, the A4 is getting on in years. If you remember, this generation of the car was introduced to US customers in the 2008 model year, and here it is more than half a decade later, and for the most part, this vehicle is essentially unchanged. Now, of course, that can mean one of two different things. Either Audi is falling behind competitors like the BMW 3 Series and Cadillac CTS, or they did it right the first time. The 2014 A4 is available in 3 trim levels. Premium serves as the base, then there's Premium Plus and Prestige at the top. With a handful of options in tow, this mid-range car's out-the-door price is $43,845, including $895 in destination fees, and all told, that is not too bad in today's world. Included in that figure are extras like ice silver metallic paint, which costs $500, as well as the company's MMI Navigation Plus package that checks out at $3,050. Of course, this is a luxury car, and as equipped, it's got some pretty nice features. There's a 3-zone climate control system, xenon headlamps, and navigation. It rides on 10-spoke, 18-inch wheels that are wrapped in all-season rubber. Auto-dimming mirrors and a sunroof are also included. Behind that prominent single-frame grille is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, the only power plant available in the A4. Of course, the high-performance S4 sedan features a supercharged V6, but this TFSI unit delivers 220 horsepower, which isn't all that much, and I mean 300 ponies these days seems weak, but torque is what really counts, and the A4's engine puts out a maximum of 258 pound-feet at just 1,500 RPM. In this car, it's matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission, as well as Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system, which is really hard to show on camera, so just look at those pretty wheels. A 6-speed manual is also available with Quattro. However, if you want front-wheel drive, you're going to be saddled with a continuously variable transmission, so don't do that. With the 8-speed automatic, this drivetrain arrangement results in a combined fuel economy rating of 24 miles per gallon, and that figure is derived from a city score of 20 mpg and a highway rating of 29. Part of what makes Audi so appealing is the quality of their cabins. The company has long been a benchmark for interior craftsmanship and design. Now, this particular A4 is far from a range topper, but it still exudes class and elegance in here like few other cars do. The materials quality is pretty excellent. The fit and finish, it's peerless. Now, a lot of the competitors these days have gone to cut and sewn materials for their dashboards and door panels, so the Audi's plastic may be a step behind, but it still looks really excellent. And it even smells nice in here. There's sort of a sweet, almost perfumey aroma. I guess you could call it Ode to Audi. As for controls, there's a smattering of buttons near the gear selector. MMI, of course, accounts for the majority of these, but designers also put the starter switch and volume knob in this area as well. This unusual placement does take some getting used to, but it soon becomes second nature. The infotainment system is good overall, though it does require practice to get the hang of it, and it's the same story with the climate controls, which at first do seem needlessly complex. Another aspect of this car that's worth mentioning is the back seat. It's spacious with respectable leg and headroom, though in reality, it's only good for 2 passengers because no one will want to sit in that middle position with the gigantic hump in the floor. Back in motion, one of the first things you notice about this car is just how quiet it is. Road and wind noise are practically negligible, even when traversing cracked or crumbling pavement. The ride strikes a really nice balance between soft and sporty. The car handles quite well, but it doesn't beat you up when you drive through big potholes. Likewise, the brake pedal, it's got a nice progressive feel to it, and maybe it was inspired by President Teddy Roosevelt. Thanks to a relatively low belt line and pretty small pillars, with the exception of the B-post here, outward visibility of the A4 here is pretty darn good, which makes maneuvering this car in traffic a snap. The A4's electromechanical power steering is nice and light at low speeds, and it gets appreciably heavier the faster you go. However, as velocity increases, so does the sensation of isolation. It's like the front tires aren't telling your hands all that's going on with the road. It's not awful, but I think it could be a little bit better. As for the engine, this thing is super smooth with excellent NVH, and I think a lot of people might mistake it for a really good V6 until they hit the accelerator. Personally, this 2-liter Turbo 4 does feel a little bit soft. Sure, it's got tons of torque, which is great for about 95% of all driving situations, but when you punch it, it just doesn't burst ahead like I think it should. Still, Audi claims a 0 to 60 time of about 6.2 seconds. The A4 is stylish, well-built, and luxurious. Its driving performance, pricing, and fuel economy are all commendable as well. And it's like a symphony you can park in your own driveway. And it's no small wonder this car is a cornerstone of Audi's lineup. In fact, last year in the US, it was their second most popular model, falling just behind the Q5 crossover. And even after all of these years, like one of Wagner's Valkyries, the A4 is ready to ride. For more on this review and others like it, visit AutoGuide.com. Woo! Dancing! We are taking pictures here, and if I'm not mistaken, we're taking about 29.97 of them per second. That's a lot of pictures!